What are we visiting in Japan? I do love Japan. I visited it 2 times already and I spent about 1 month and a half there. So in this YouTube video, I'm going to tell you more about my favorite cities, about the places that you should not miss, and I'm going to give you an itinerary for 2 weeks, 14 days, a perfect itinerary where you find the best places that you should not miss when you visit Japan. We're going to discuss about the matcha capital, the golden city, and I'm going to share with you a personal experience which has been something amazing that I did. Now let's get started. Some of the cities we are going to talk about are Tokyo, Kyoto, Kanazawa, Takayama, etc. And most of them are already being documented in my previous YouTube videos from when I visited Japan. So if you are already part of my beautiful family, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching them. And to all my subscribers, thank you for liking my videos, for watching until the end, for commenting. This helps me do what I like. This helps me find the best places that I can recommend you so that I transmit you my vibes, I give you my passion, I encourage you to travel and to discover the world as well. This being said, let's go and let's start with Tokyo. Tokyo is of course the most famous city in Japan, is the capital of Japan, so I'm sure you have already planned to visit Tokyo. Walking on the streets of Tokyo is an activity itself. Besides walking, what else can you do in Tokyo and getting lost on purpose? So I recommend you a few neighborhoods. One of them is Asakusa, where you have the Sensoji Temple and the Nakamise shopping street. This is a lively area. The temple is really beautiful and we visited it 2 times because every time we're going to Tokyo, we choose to go to this place, and I'm sure that if we ever come back to Tokyo, I will go again there. It gets filled up with people, so my advice for you for all the attractions that I'm going to talk about is to go as early as possible, to take beautiful videos, and to make sure you catch the vibe of the place without so many people around you. So you can also go later, but expect many people, especially in the cities that are super well known and in the areas of these cities such as Asakusa. Nakamise shopping street is a shopping street starting from Sensoji Temple, which has a lot of shops on both sides. You can buy souvenirs from there and you can try local food. You can try street food, and there I'm recommending you to try the melon pan, which is a traditional sweet in Japan. It's really delicious, and I tried one with matcha which blew my mind. I still think of it, so if I'm going back, I'm definitely going to try this again. At Sensoji Temple, you can go for finding a written fortune, which is a really cool activity. And if you don't like the fortune, if it's a bad fortune, you can leave it behind by tying it to place designed for this. I told you more about this on my Instagram page, so if you want to follow me live and to see what I'm doing, the places that I'm visiting, you can also follow me on Instagram. I made a special reel about getting a written fortune at Sensoji Temple in Japan, which for me was a super cool activity. You can do this at many temples, not only here, but this is where I tried it and I absolutely loved it. There is another place in Tokyo that I'm sure you know about, which is Shibuya. So in Shibuya, you have the Shibuya Sky, you have the crossing, the craziest, busiest crossing in the world. I do recommend you to go there, and I'm giving you a pro tip with this occasion. Sometimes the crossing will not be so crazy, let's say like this. There are not going to be so many people all the time because during the weekends and in the evening especially, many people will be there, but in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, not so many people will be there. So choose wisely and think of what you want to experience. I do suggest you to try going to Shibuya Sky to see the crossing from above. The view is beautiful, and if you're lucky, you can also see Mount Fuji. Shinjuku is another cool area that you don't want to miss, and here you have a very famous street. It's a really narrow street where you have traditional food, so you can get a bit of a traditional energy of the local vibe of the place. This place is called Omoide Yokocho, so you have small restaurants on both sides, and if you go there, do be prepared because you are going to smell as if you're a chef in a kitchen, in a really famous kitchen, because of how narrow the street is and because of how good the food smells. Speaking of food, I do recommend you a place where you can have the best ramen, which is vegan. So if you're a vegan and if you like vegan food, I do recommend you to go to this place. I'm leaving you the location here. They have some of the best ramen and some of the best vegan food I've had in my life. I do recommend you this place. There is one more place that really shocked me in Japan, which is the robot cafe. But more than the idea of having a robot cafe, shocked me the reality behind this. So these robots which are serving you, bringing you the order, your order, are not robots, actually are people, but are disabled people who cannot be there with you. And I think that this is a great initiative, and I think that you have to experience it. Sometimes you can talk with them, sometimes you can take photos with them, with the robots, and talk with the people behind the robots. And sometimes the people behind the robots are taking the role of the barista, preparing coffee that you can try afterwards. This is a super cool experience. Don't miss it. Now, I told you that there is one day reserved to a day trip to Kamakura. So Kamakura is the place where I saw maybe the most beautiful scenes of Japan and where I experienced the most beautiful vibes of Japan. You can experience there the slow life, the seaside vibes. You have a very beautiful train and many people are going there to see the train, to have a ride with the train and to see the beautiful scenery. People are going to surf there. There are so many restaurants that are having a seaside view. I do recommend you this place. It's super relaxing and easy to arrive there, but you need one day because the wait is a little bit long. And do go there. I think one day is enough. So minimum one day, and one day is enough. We are now moving on to Kyoto, which is super close to Tokyo. You can go there by bus or by train, which is super convenient, but by bus you need more hours to make it there. You choose how you want to go there, but don't miss it. Because in Kyoto, you will want to spend at least 3 days, because one day is reserved to a day trip to a super special place that I will talk a little bit later about. Now, talking about Kyoto, this city is famous for the architecture, for the streets, for the temples. So many tourists are going to be there. As usually, follow my advice and go early in the morning if you want photos without crowds. But if you don't mind the crowds, you can go at any time, visit, get around, get lost. You will love it. One of the most important hotspots in Kyoto is Ninenzaka Street with Hokkanji Temple nearby, where you can take beautiful photos, where you can see traditional houses. So I do recommend you to go there. Even if this area is a little bit more touristic, I do recommend you to go there because it has its vibe that you should not miss. In Kyoto, the bamboo forest is also famous. I personally never visited it, but next time I'm going to Japan, I am going to prioritize this, to put it on the top of my list. I do recommend you to go there. There's another beautiful cafe that many people are talking about, and it has an interior garden where you can sip your coffee or matcha. Speaking of matcha, the day trip I recommend you to do is in Uji City, and you can make it there super easily from Kyoto. I do recommend you to go there at least one day. Uji City is the capital of matcha. Being the birthplace of matcha can only mean one thing. Uji City has matcha everywhere. So here you can try salty or sweet dishes, you can try drinks, you can have beverages with matcha, you can have curry, udon noodles with matcha, you can have matcha tiramisu, you can have matcha latte, you can have so many things with matcha. So I do recommend you to go there if you're a matcha lover and if you want to see how matcha really tastes like, because I guarantee you've never tried better matcha than here, than in Uji City. So you have to add this place on your list. If you're there, don't miss the first tea shop in the world, which I think is crazy. I cannot believe we went there. The history of the place is really nice, and I did a YouTube video from there, so I'm leaving it to you here in case you want to check it out. I'm telling you more details about Uji City there, so if you want to research in depth this place, do watch my YouTube videos. And since I'm talking about themed cities, you should not miss the Golden City of Japan. Here in Kanazawa, I recommend you to spend at least 3 days, so minimum 2 nights, and I'm going to tell you more about this because Kanazawa is more than a golden city. But why am I saying that this is a golden city? Here you can have ice cream with gold, takoyaki with gold, lemonade with gold, skincare products with gold, so many things with gold. I also made a YouTube video from Kanazawa, so if you want to check it more in depth, you can check it out here. I'm leaving you the link here, but let's talk a little bit about it and let me tell you why you have to go there. All these things in Kanazawa are having gold because Kanazawa is producing the golden foil, which is sent all over the country. So all these things have a reasonable price there. I do recommend you to go there. In Kanazawa, it's more than a golden city. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because it's also famous for the Kanazawa castle and garden that you should not miss. The garden has an interesting design. The story of the place is unique, so add this on your list as well. And also add on your list the samurai district there in Kanazawa. It's really special, and you can also visit Namura Samurai House for a reasonable price. You can see how they used to live in the past and get yourself in the story, live among samurais there, see a beautiful garden which received many prizes. So I do recommend you to also consider adding Kanazawa on your list. Speaking about beautiful architecture and the vibe of the place, there is another city that you should not miss, which is Takayama. Takayama is only 4 hours by GR from Tokyo, and it's easy to make it there. And there you have two places. You have the city center with beautiful houses, wooden houses. The view is incredible, it's spectacular, and with small shops around. So do go to the city center. But what interests me the most is the open air museum, because Takayama has an open air museum which is called Hida no Sato, Hida Folk Village, and it's really unique because it has houses from all over the area brought together. Nobody lives there, so it's a museum, and you can visit it. We visited it in autumn and it was spectacular, and the price of the ticket is really reasonable because you can pay 800 GPY yen for the bus driving you there, for the entrance and for the bus back. So I do recommend you at least 1 day. No nights is fine. This is what we did. We didn't spend any night there. At least 1 day there, and I'm sure you're going to love it. I also have a YouTube video from there, so if you want to see more about how it looks like and the experience of the place, do check it out. I did keep the best for the end, which is Minobu. So Minobu is a small Japanese city in Yamanashi Prefecture in Japan, and you don't have to miss the vibes of this place. We spent there only 1 night, and if you're going back to Japan, we're definitely adding this place next to the bamboo forest on the top of the list, because here you can sleep in a temple and you can see how monks are living. You can participate to a ceremony held by monks. This is where you find kakurimbo. They also have an Instagram page. You can talk with them on Instagram. The experience we had was amazing, was out of this world, was super unique. I've never had such an interesting, unique experience ever in my life. So I do recommend you to go there, try traditional food, which is explained so you will know what you're eating. I do recommend you to go there to listen to traditional music, learn making sushi inari, why not, to learn singing, or to see different traditional instruments, Japanese instruments, to see a ceremony held by monks, to sleep in a temple. This is such a unique experience you don't have to miss in Japan. I documented it and I posted a YouTube video from there. So if you want to see how this experience could be like for you, do check it out and consider adding it on your list. Now, I do need a feedback from you. How was it? Would you like me to do these kind of YouTube videos for the next countries I visit or for previous countries I visited, in which I tell you what are the cities that you should not miss, how many days or nights you should spend in each place? Is it boring? Do tell me, do let me know. I'm doing my best here. This is my room, this is my desk. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I was really nervous at the beginning. Do let me know what are your thoughts on this, because I do appreciate them, and I'm doing this for you, to give you my knowledge and to inspire you to travel. Now that I've talked about Japan, I'm so happy because I remembered all the experiences we had there, and I'm just filled of good energy, good vibes, Malina's vibe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I managed to send you my good vibes, and please let me know your thoughts. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, why not, if you want to see more of such YouTube videos or YouTube videos taken live from other locations, because I'm not going to completely shift to these kind of videos. We're also going to film live outside, but I do want to take moments like this to give you like a more of an insight about experience that I had, because let's be honest, you cannot do such an itinerary if you're there on the spot. You have to live it, you have to experience it, and then you have to gather the best parts and do such a video. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.